北极小港千里远，总书记何在心相连？紧紧靠在心上，世世代代永不忘。啦啦啦啦啦啦啦啦啦啦啦啦啦。致富的道路还有光，前方快乐繁荣，万亩良田闪金光。如今在农村变化大，养猪变成金凤凰，太阳变成金凤凰。啦啦啦啦，打起双条鼓，
Hello everyone, you are now watching Xinhua Live Show. I'm Sun Xiaozheng.
I'm Roisin Timmins and we're with Xinhua News Agency. Now you just listened to, now I think you're going to have to say this if I'm not going to get it right. The name of this music is?
Fengyang Huagu.
Fengyang Huagu. So that roughly translates to flower drum from Fengyang, right? And so I think some of these lovely ladies are going to actually help us try and learn how to do it. It looks pretty difficult. 你可以帮我一下吗?
Okay.
Can you help me? So how do I hold it? This finger. So this one goes on here. All right, now what? It's really quite hard to hold. I don't know how they managed to do it.
上面两个手指管上面挑，下面两个手指管下面挑。
There is a beautiful painting on here. This is a painting of a phoenix. You might know that Fengyang, the Feng in that stands for phoenix. So this is why we've got the phoenix on the drum. Next, we have these really weird drumsticks. How do I hold this? So 2 fingers there, and 2. Oh gosh, like that? Oh, see, Xiaozheng is already an expert. I look kind of like an idiot. Okay. That makes more sense. So it's kind of like chopsticks, but I'll be honest, I'm not very good at chopsticks either, so this is not very helpful. Do you want to have a go?
You can try it first.
Okay, let's see if I can do this. So, you show me. Okay.
That's good.
And then I saw you doing it on the side as well, right? Oh, I can't do that.
Side.
What about you? Do you want to have a try?
I can try the side.
Yeah, I can take the mic for you.
Okay. So tight.
Ah, see, it's not as easy as it seems.
As easy.
So we've been doing a little bit of research about the history of this, right? Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Okay. So Fengyang Huagu is actually a art that has a long tradition. I think it dates back to the Ming Dynasty. At that time, people were suffering from famine, like of this region of the Huaihe River. So at that time, people sing and use this instrument on the streets, and they sing for a living. What I mean is they beg.
So it was basically they had absolutely nothing else. All they could do was sing to make a living. There was no way of farming. There was no way of any other way of making a living, right?
Because here traditionally it's very poor area, so they have to sing and then they earn a living by this way.
Yeah, this is kind of a problem with this county. They're not blessed with a good climate or good geography or anything like that. So traditionally life has been really difficult here, right?
Okay, but then this art reforms with this village. Do you know the story about this village?
Well, we are actually in Shaogang, which is, well, if you're from China, you will definitely know where Shaogang is. Maybe if you're not Chinese, you might not have heard of the place, right? Why is it so special to Chinese people?
Well, they say Xiaogang is the village that sparked China's reform 40 years ago.
Right.
Do you know why?
I believe there was something about a secret pact.
Yes, actually we're here in this room that mimicking the place where they made the secret pact.
So actually, yeah, if you have a look behind us here, we're going to a house that has actually been around since 1973. So this is basically a real house that people lived in back then. As you can tell, it's very basic.
So before we go in there, we have another performance to watch.
Oh, right.
Yes. As the time passed by, this art transforms as well. So in the old days, the content of this lyrics is mainly about begging, its sadness. But today, the song is about
So this is all about how after 1978, actually everything started to change. The life got better, people actually had something to eat. So with full bellies, it's a bit more difficult to sing such sad songs about poverty and stuff, right? So this is why we have some lovely ladies here who are going to show us
another form of this dance.
an updated version. Please. Wow, thank you. Thank you so much, ladies. That was absolutely wonderful.
That was great.
Yeah, so could you maybe translate a little bit about what it was that they were singing about? How has the meaning changed?
The meaning changed as China changed as well. Like 40 years on, life is no longer bitterness. So like the song's lyrics is mainly about love and renovation and innovation. So it's more about the sweetness. So and they're just saying for their happiness.
That's lovely. That's really sweet. So it does go to show, like, folk music usually is the sort of thing that tells the tale of a nation in its time, right? Its history. So it's really nice to see that comparison with the old songs, with the sadness and that heartbreak and that hunger changing into joy and love, right? So as I was saying before, we are actually in a courtyard from an old building that's actually been here since the 70s. So I was trying to take you there before, but I'm going to take you there again. For those of you that just tuned in, this is Xinhua Live, and we are here in Shaogang in Fengyang County, and we're looking around about what life was like 40 years ago and how reform and opening up has really changed this village for the better. So come with me, let's take a look.
Let's go.
So first off, if you have a look over here, they've got the recreation of basically what the living style was back then. So it's pretty basic, huh?
Yeah, let's see, what do they have here? What is that? It's a sofa?
I guess it's a bed for sleeping on, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't look particularly comfortable, I'll be honest.
Yeah, obviously they've gone some hardship back then.
Yeah, and then if we actually turn around and go over this way, we have a recreation of a really, really special room for Chinese people. It's a tiny little room, but it had big consequences for this country.
Look at here, it's double dining room. Like,
so, Xiaozheng, tell us, what exciting thing happened here?
Okay, so as a symbol of China's rural reforms, Xiaogang became famous in 1978 after 18 of its farmers made a secret pact to resist the country's egalitarian agricultural system.
So, shall we take a seat?
Sure, yeah, here is what they said, said back then.
So they sat around here and they had a contract, they all agreed, and they said...
Yeah, and they made this.
They made the thumbprint.
Yes, like this.
And so basically what was in the contract is actually really quite important, because what they were deciding to do was split up the land. Now, before this time, all of the land belonged to everyone, right? It was communal. And so everyone produced grain and it was split among them and given to the government and so on. What these people decided to do was essentially break the law. That's why there was a clause in their contract where if any of them went to prison or were executed, the rest of the people who signed that contract promised to take care of their children until they turned 18. Mm-hmm. This was a way of comforting people, making them feel at least like their children would be safe in the future. So it gives you an idea of just how serious, how much of a risk it was that these 18 people were taking when they came into that room and signed that contract. Shall we go and take a look outside?
Sure. Obviously, they're very brave back then.
So, if we have a look outside, it's getting a bit dark now, huh? So here we are outside the house, and I guess we're getting towards, sorry, my producer's messaging me. We're getting to a point where we're going to get to the end of this live session. So I wonder if you have any final thoughts. What is your feeling about what it's like here in Xiaogang?
What impressed me most here in Xiaogang is their spirit back then. Like, they innovate, and they're very brave. They break the law, but then they made the reform. They sparked the reform of China. Like,
They sparked the reform, yeah. And also, don't forget, like, yes, they took a huge risk, but actually other people may not have been as lucky as them, because the official in this province actually decided, hey, this might actually be a good idea, and supported and protected them. So although these farmers took a huge, huge risk, and I have so much respect for them, I can't even imagine what situation they were in to make them feel they were that desperate. But also it says something about the way that the past 40 years have gone, because without those officials actually helping them and supporting them and seeing a good idea just for being a good idea, right? Without that, then we wouldn't be here today, right?
You were absolutely right.
Yeah. So we're getting to the end of our live show. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much.
And welcome to Xiaogang. You should definitely come. It's a really interesting experience. This was Xinhua Special. I'm Roisin Timmins.
I'm Sun Xiaozheng with Xinhua Live Show.